Hey beauties, welcome to my first ever favorites video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nat and I love makeup. Because this is my first favorites video, it might be a long one. I'm going to share with you all my favorites of all time, my favorites of everything that I've tried out in 2025, but keep in mind the majority of the products that I tried out this year were actually released in 2024. Or even before that. I'm also going to share with you some of the new things that I tried that really blew me away, like instantly blew me away, and the products that I just simply reached for the most this year. Starting off with lip prep. At the beginning of the year, I almost always use this NYX Fat Oil, and just in the clear one, my main. Like I think this one's pretty much almost done. This one's getting there. I usually kept one where I do my makeup and one in one of my purses. But I have to say, about halfway through the year, I fell in love with this K-Skin Deepwater Nourishing Lip Mask. And it's actually too bad because I think this might be discontinued, or at least it's no longer available at Sephora. But I'll show you mine. I'm almost done. But the great thing is, I find that it's very similar to the NATURIUM Phyto Glow Lip Mask. This one in particular, I usually use at night, but at least when I'm done the K-Skin one, I know I can replace it with one of these. Or maybe it's time to finally try out a bunch of other lip prep products that I have in my collection. No surprise here, this is my all-time favorite primer. It's the One Size Oil Sucker. This one's almost empty, but I always keep a backup on hand. This oil sucker is what I mainly use throughout the year, especially in the summertime because this is the only primer that keeps my face matte. But in the fall or springtime, my other favorite is the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. This one is also pretty good at keeping my face matte, but what I like about it the most is that it's really thin, and after you put it on, you barely feel like you have anything on your face. The only thing I'm not a super fan of is the way that it comes out of the bottle. Let me show you quickly. It's one of those dropper ones, so you have to kind of push on the bottom a little bit and maybe get a drop out. There. The package isn't the greatest, but the formula inside is pretty fantastic. On non-work days, and if you didn't know, I'm a hairstylist, so I work under hot lights and for long hours. So yeah, on days where I'm not working or I'm not too concerned about the oils seeping through my makeup, my most reached for primer is the CALIRAY So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. This one I like because it makes my face feel so smooth, and it has a little bit of a scent. It just smells fresh and clean, and I like that. So this primer actually says that it's an oil controller, but for someone like me who's quite oily or can get quite oily, the oil control doesn't compare to the oil sucker. The next product isn't really a primer, but you can use it as a primer or before you put your foundation on, or you can mix it with your heavier foundations or your more full coverage foundations. This is the One Size B12 Base Thinner, and it really just makes the finish of the foundation that you mixed it with beautiful. More skin-like, more radiant. And what impressed me the most about this product is that it's kind of glowy, but it works on someone who's oily like me. I'm pretty sure this one was released in 2025, and it very quickly became one of my favorites. So it's safe to say that this is one of the products that blew me away in 2025. For eyebrows, these are my most reached for eyebrow products. I always use powder in my eyebrows. I start off with this one at the beginning of my eyebrows, and then I follow it through with this one. This is the Revlon ColorStay Brow Kit, and in the shade Soft Black. And this one I just randomly found on Amazon. I think the brand name is BOOBEEN, but it doesn't say that anywhere on the package. But this one comes with two shades, and I usually stick to this side. I've tried this one before, but it's quite black. So maybe good for costume or cosplay or anytime I want intense brows. So this is the side that I usually stick to. It's marketed as waterproof. I don't know if it's actually waterproof, but it does stay on all day long. I don't ever have to worry about my eyebrows coming off. So if anything, this powder in particular is very long wearing. Now on to foundations and skin tints. At the beginning of this year, like January, February, and even a little bit into March, I almost always wore the Jones Road What the Foundation. Mine is in the shade Beige. Let me show you. It's kind of gross looking. I'm almost done it. I don't like pot foundations. However, I do like this formula. I feel like a lot of people have mixed opinions on this foundation. For me, in the winter time, even though I still get oily, but I have random dry patches on my face, and those dry patches sometimes get like almost chapped feeling. So this foundation, I'm sure it has skincare ingredients in it because the scent of it is almost like a salve or like some kind of healing balm. So that's why I really enjoyed this one through the winter months when it's cold and dry and my face was feeling chapped. This foundation has very sheer coverage, but I don't mind. That's almost what I like about this foundation. There's nothing else like it out there. It does even out my skin tone, which that's pretty much what I want. And then where I do want a little bit more coverage, I go in with concealer. But for something to be all over my face in the winter months, this one was my hero. Another one that I reached for quite a bit at the beginning of the year during the winter months is the Skin Nova Complexion Balm from VIEVE. And mine is in the shade 210. What I love most about this product is that it looks like skin and it feels like skincare on your face. This is another outstanding product. Another standout product for the winter months for me is the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I have it in the shade 5, and this really is super beautiful on the skin. It's hydrating, it's lightweight, it does have a substantial coverage to it though. And again, for someone who's naturally oily, you don't look like a disco ball after using this. You just look like you have the healthiest, juiciest skin. So this being my first favorites video, I told you in the beginning it was going to be a long one, and in terms of base products, I actually do have quite a few. So thank you for hanging in there with me. For days where I'm short on time, or I just don't have like a lot of brain power and I don't really want to have to think about my makeup, I always reach for the FENTY Eaze Drop. And this is in the shade 9, but my summer shade is the shade 11. This is what I actually have on my face right now. I've also repurchased this. I think this is my third one, but for my taste, it gives the perfect amount of coverage without feeling too heavy, perfect for everyday type wear. I like the blurring qualities in this skin tint, and it's a little bit more on the matte side, which is my preference, but it's super lightweight. Now let's talk about ColourPop's Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I think I got this last summer, but I don't know what it is about this tinted moisturizer. I fell in love with it instantly, and this one actually became one of my most reached for base products in 2025. Oh, mine is in the shade Light 8N. I guess I would say that it's quite similar to the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Tint. Same thing with this product. It's the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum, and in the shade Light 23. I got this probably last year, but 2025 is when I used it the most. This skin tint is fantastic. It's so good. And if you haven't tried this yet, I highly recommend that you consider trying this one out. It is so, so good. My favorite foundation for events, or if I know there's going to be lots of photos taken, it's the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation, and mine is in the shade 200 Light Medium. This foundation photographs so beautifully, and I feel like out of all of my foundations, this one is my perfect shade match. It's also long wearing, it stays on when I go out dancing. I even wore this to the Lady Gaga concert in the summer. Now on to my most traveled with foundation. It's the Tier foundations. I love both of them. This one is the more matte one. This one is the original one, which I don't actually notice a huge difference between the finish of both of them, but I do mix them together. This one is in the shade 25N Mocha, and this one is in the shade 27N Camel. It stays on super long. It doesn't break up like in this mobile area where we have a lot of movement. Then Tier released a new one. This is the Mask Fit AI Filter Cushion Foundation. I got mine in the shade 25N Mocha because that's more of my year-round shade. And I have to say, this one's finish actually blew me away. What's slightly off about it though, even though it's 25N Mocha, just like the other one, this one is a little bit too yellow for me. But that's okay. I powder it with a lavender powder from Fenty. I can still make it work with my concealer. I just need to make sure I pull it down a little bit through my neck. It's not super, super yellow. It's just slightly too yellow. But the finish on this is gorgeous. All right, so speaking of products that blew me away, this one actually knocked my socks off. It's the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation, and mine is in the shade 125. This one is long wearing. It's matte, but not a flat kind of matte, which is why it's called Lumi Matte. This one feels nice on the skin. It really, really is a lovely foundation. Not just a lovely drugstore foundation, it's a lovely foundation. So this foundation was released in 2025. It's the Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation, and mine is in the shade N6. This formula impressed me so much because it is a serum foundation and it's a little bit on the glowy side, but after I powder it down, it really just stays on all day long. It's not greasy. I have been using this in the later months of the year, so I do wonder what it's like in the summer months, like in the peak of summer. I wonder if this might turn out a little bit too shiny on me, but I have to say, for a serum foundation, it holds up on my oily skin very well. It's also very skin-like when it goes on. Even though it's a full-on foundation, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels like skincare on my face. Alright, we're on to the last foundation, and this is the one that truly impressed me the most this year. It's the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation, and mine is in the shade 8N. This is probably the newest foundation in my collection, or one of, but since I got it, since I put it on my face, I can't stop reaching for it. This one might even give my Haus Labs a run for its money. This one also shows up on camera beautifully. It's super long wearing. It doesn't break up. This really is a fantastic, fabulous, gorgeous formula. Okay, eye primer time. No surprise here, it's the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. This is my all-time favorite Holy Grail eye primer. I love this one so much that I almost never use anything else. However, one eye primer that I did try out this year, even though I got it, I think at the end of last year, this is the Eye Base from Beauty Bay, and in the shade Base 3. This one is actually quite comparable to the MAC Paint Pot. But I have to say, it's comparable in finish, how it dries down, and how it keeps my eyeshadow on. But it is different in formulation. This one has a doe foot, and it's a little bit thinner than the Paint Pot. The Paint Pot is almost like a solid cream. But anyway, this one super impressed me. Now on to concealer. My favorite drugstore concealer is the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer, and mine is in the shade W3. I think I picked up W3 at the time because they didn't have an N3, but this shade actually works pretty well on me. Let me show you guys. This has a pretty interesting doe foot. It's substantial. But yeah, I can't even say that this is my favorite drugstore concealer. It happens to be from the drugstore, but it is fabulous. It doesn't crease, I guess because it's a serum concealer. It's hydrating. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. A fabulous, fabulous concealer. So again, on those days where I don't really have the brain power to think about my makeup, but I need to slap something on my face, I almost always reach for the Tower 28 Swipe All Over Concealer, and mine is in the shade IE. That's actually what I have on my face today. It's creamy, it's hydrating, but again, someone with oily skin, it still works well. It doesn't move. Like once set, it doesn't move. Although I've never tried any of my concealers without setting them, so I don't know. But it's so easy to blend out. It's so easy to maneuver on the face. Like I said, on days where I either have absolutely no time or no brain power to think about my makeup, I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to slap this on, push it around with my brush, and it's going to work. So love, love, love this one. So this concealer is probably one of my most reached for concealers, and it's actually very similar in what I like about it as the Tower 28 concealer. This is the Kulfi Main Match, and mine is in the shade Cocoa Crush. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm actually almost done. This one I will absolutely repurchase. I don't have a backup at this time. I usually take this one when I travel. A lot of the things that I love about this one are very similar to what I love about the Tower 28. It's creamy, it's easy to blend out, it's dependable, long wearing, doesn't crease, you know, all the things that we love about a concealer. Just so, so good. My favorite full coverage concealer is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer, and mine is in the shade N4. This formulation is a lot of people's holy grail. I absolutely love this formulation, but if I'm going to be honest, in 2025, I didn't reach for it quite as much as I did in 2024, but still a standout concealer. Now, like its counterpart, the foundation, the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer is my go-to concealer. I always use it when I'm going out, when I know there's going to be photos taken. When I'm wearing the Haus Labs foundation, I wear these two together. I love, love, love this concealer. It doesn't crease. It makes my face look flawless, even in like a club setting, like it doesn't have the greatest lighting, and anytime there's photos taken of me, when I know that I'm wearing this concealer and the Haus Labs foundation together, I don't even worry about the lighting. Yeah, it just performs so well. Mine is in the shade 21 Light Neutral. Alright, so this is the last concealer on my list. It's the CeraCreole Face Flex. Mine is in the shade 2.0. I think I picked this up at the very end of last year, and I just couldn't put it down for all of 2025. The sad part is it's not available to us Canadians, but I travel to the States often enough that I'm not too worried. I currently have a backup of this one already. It's just so perfect, almost, if I can say that about a concealer. It's creamy, it blends out beautifully. The coverage is amazing, but it doesn't feel too heavy on the skin. This one really, really is a beautiful concealer. I think this one came out last year, but like I said, I picked it up at the end of the year, and then throughout 2025, I kept reaching for this one. I think this concealer is my most reached for concealer of 2025. On to bronzer slash contour. My most reached for, most used, holy grail, all-time favorite bronzer is the Fenty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer, and in the shade 05 Teddy. I'll show you what this one looks like. It's almost done. This is, I think, my second or third one, and I already have a backup waiting. This is what I actually have on my face today. For me, this bronzer is just foolproof. I love the shade and the tone of it the most. It blends out super easily. Again, it's one of those products that I reach for when I don't have a whole lot of time and when I don't really have brain power to think about my makeup. This one really is my absolute favorite. My alt favorite is the Patrick Ta Cream Contour Powder Bronzer Duo, and mine is in the shade She's Sculpted. But to be honest, I don't often use the powder bronzer. My favorite is the cream contour. Same thing, I really like the tone of this product. It's not quite as easy to blend out as the Fenty one, but it's still not hard. Same thing with this product. It's mainly the shade and the tone that I love the most. And it also stays on all day long. What I find with this one and the Fenty one, I don't actually have to put a powder bronzer on top to bring it back to life or anything like that. I can just use just the cream contour and that's it. Because honestly, with my makeup, I don't often put a powder bronzer on top of my cream contour or cream bronzer. Like if I'm opting for a powder bronzer, I usually skip the cream. Usually. Not 100% of the time, but usually. Now those two products that I just mentioned, they're not new to me in 2025. They're more of my favorites out of my collection. So from what I tried in 2025, the Christian Dior Contour Stick really impressed me. Again, it's probably just a shade thing, but the formulation is quite nice too. I have mine in the shade 03 Medium, and similar to the other two products, this one is a little bit more on the cool side, which is what I like about it. And similarly, again, it's easy to blend out. The way that I apply it is I pick it up from the stick with a brush and then apply it to my face. Beautiful, beautiful product. Alright, I just said that I don't often use powder bronzer, but when I did this year, I reached for the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Longwear Matte Bronzer. Is there a shade name? That's weird. I don't know if there's a shade name. But anyway, I think this one is just the mini. I can't remember where I picked this up. I might have picked this up at the cosmetics company. But this bronzer I love, first of all, because it smells like chocolate. And second of all, it's matte and it has like a neutral undertone to it. So it's not on the orangey side. I think for me, that's what I really dislike about powder bronzers is if they appear too orange on my skin. This one I took with me when I traveled this year. Mainly because it's small, but I do like the finish. I love the shade. It's smooth. It blends out easily. Alright, there are two powder bronzers that I tried in 2025 that really blew me away. One of them is the RMS Redimension Hydra Bronzer, and this is in the shade Tan Lines. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Of course, this one didn't come out in 2025, but this year is when I finally tried it out, and it blew me away. After I tried it the first time, I kept reaching for it. It has like the prettiest radiant finish, and the radiance even works on someone with oily skin. It's like a lit from within type radiance versus a sparkly one or like a wet looking one. It really gives just a healthy glow. This one is super beautiful. We're on to the last powder bronzer on my list, and this one truly blew me away. It's the Hung Van Gogh Soft Blurring Bronzer, and mine is in the shade Hardworking. This is what it looks like. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people find it hard to work with. I'm one of the ones that absolutely love it. I think this formula is so beautiful. It really is blurring. It's matte, but not like flat matte. So same thing with this one. As soon as I got it and tried it out, I couldn't put it down. I just kept wanting to see it on my face. And now we're on to blush. Same thing. What blew me away is the Hung Van Gogh Very Beautiful Velvet Blush. And mine is in the shade Born from Beauty. It's kind of on the peachy side. It is so pretty on the skin. Like instant fall in love as soon as I put it on my cheeks. I love, love, love Hung Van Gogh's bronzer and blush. Another one that was released this year and super impressed me is the Morphe Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Face Trio, and mine is in the shade Sunset Swim. This is what it looks like. It has the cream ones, and then the bottom one is the powder. I love this formulation so much that I picked up another shade, but I haven't actually tested it out yet because I think I'm saving that for my full face of Morphe video. But seriously, this product is outstanding. Great price point, blends out super easily. It's beautiful. The cream one, the shimmery-ish one, and even the powder, they just go so well together. I love, love, love this product. And same thing, the RMS Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. Didn't come out this year, but this is the year that I finally tried it, and I don't know what took me so long to try it out. It is beautiful. I have mine in the shade Maiden's Blush. It's so pretty. It's radiant, it's glowy, but it doesn't emphasize my texture because I do have quite a bit of texture on my face. I'm almost 45, but actually by the time you're watching this video, I might have just turned 45. So on this 45-year-old skin, this radiant blush does not emphasize my texture. Sorry, I actually don't have this on my face right now. I'm doing this to show you my texture, I guess. One of my most reached for powder blushes this year, although I don't know if it came out this year or not. Sorry, I didn't do research on it. It either came out later last year or sometime this year. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's the Tower 28 Get Set Matte Powder Blush, and mine is in the shade Long Beach Iced Tea. Surprise, surprise, the majority of my blushes and my lip products are nude, but that's what I like because I like to have a little bit more of a dramatic or colorful eyeshadow look. So to balance it out, I do nude-ish cheeks and lips. But anyway, a lot of people think that this blush is like meh. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the combo of the shade, but I do think that it's blurring. It is beautiful on the skin. I just realized I haven't swatched anything for you guys. This is the shade. This is what this blush looks like. See, it's so pretty. My other most reached for powder blush of 2025 is the Fenty Cheeks Suede Powder Blush, and in the shade Bacon Cakes. This is what it looks like. Another kind of nudish, but I guess when you put these two together, one's more on the cool tone pink side and one's a little bit more on the nude peachy warmer side. I've never actually put these two blushes side by side. It's good for me to know now. They're not the same shade. Alright, and the last blush on my list is actually my all-time favorite blush, my most reached for blush when I don't have a whole lot of time, when I don't have the brain power to think about my makeup. But not only then, this one really is my all-time favorite blush. It's the Patrick Ta Duo, and specifically in the shade She's So LA. I'll show you guys. This one I do use cream and powder, although you can see on the cream side, I've hit pan. This one I will absolutely repurchase when I run out. This is what I actually have on my cheeks right now. Love, love, love this one. Let's move on to under eye setting powder. I have 3 that I reached for the most in 2025, but I don't think they came out in 2025. And I have to say, of the 3, I don't think I have a favorite out of the 3. This is kind of contradictory, but I almost like them all the same, but for different reasons. Anyway, first up is the Too Faced Born This Way Soft Blur Setting Powder, and in the shade Light. So a lot of people think that it's super expensive for the amount of product that you get. I can't remember those details, so it's not really on my mind. Again, a lot of mixed reviews about this one, but me personally, I love this one, especially when I've used a concealer that's already brightening and I don't need further brightening from my powder. This one doesn't crease, it's lightweight, but not thin, if you know what I mean. Again, just a super dependable product for me. One of my most reached for under eye powders of 2025 is the Westman Atelier Vital Pressed Skincare Powder, and in the shade Pink Bubble. Of course, this one is on the pricier side, but it's beautiful. And even though in the pan it appears quite pink, it doesn't darken my under eyes. It does brighten my under eyes. Like most of the pink powders that I've tried this year, I think more on the loose side though, the loose setting powders, I didn't like them, or I found that they darkened my under eyes. But this one is fabulous. If it's within your budget, I highly recommend you try this one out. And for times where I don't have time, don't have brain power, and I just need to get something on my face, the Tower 28 Get Set Blur Setting Powder never fails me. I have mine in the shade Palisades Pink, and that's actually what I have on my face today. See, this one in comparison to the Westman Atelier, it's not super pink, but it is very brightening. But not overly brightening, if you know what I mean. Again, fabulous, fabulous product. Now for setting the rest of my face, you guys might already know this, but my absolute favorite is Jason Wu Ready Set Matte in the shade Translucent Banana. This is my current favorite. I have a backup. I'm almost done, or I'm getting super low. This is what I have on my face today. It's just very dependable for me. I've mentioned a bunch of times, I'm a hairstylist. I work under hot lights and for long hours, and this powder is what keeps my makeup on. I very rarely need to touch up my face. Or even if anything, I don't have to use extra product. I can just use Nikki's N14 and pat it out. But yeah, like I said, this one is my favorite because it's the most dependable. There are other setting powders and finishing powders that I have tried that might have a more refined finish to the face, but just slightly. This one currently is my absolute favorite. Okay, my previous and longtime favorite is the OG Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And yeah, this one's pretty much almost done too, but I do have a backup. I got one in one of my Ipsy subscriptions, so I'm super happy about that. I think eventually I want to try out her other formulas. I recently got the Secret Brightening Under Eye Powder, and I'm still gathering my final thoughts on it. But yeah, this one is a classic. Okay, I have a drugstore option. This is the e.l.f. HD powder, like the matte one. I don't even know if it says that it's matte, but it is mattifying. The price point is great. This one does keep me matte. As you can see, this one's done. I do have a backup, but I haven't pulled it out yet because I'm currently testing out so many other kinds of powders. But in terms of performance, this one is quite comparable to the Jason Wu. Alright, so for eyeliners, in general, I'm not super picky. As long as it stays on, it doesn't tug, I do prefer a creamier, long-lasting one. And one that I tried out from the drugstore this year is the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner. This one actually quite impressed me. The only thing that I didn't like about it is it didn't last very long. But then again, for the price point, maybe it's worth it. It's super creamy, it glides on well, and after it sets down, it doesn't move. This one I will repurchase eventually. And then in liquid form, the e.l.f. H2O Proof Eyeliner Pen, mine is in the shade Jet Black. This also super impressed me. It stayed on like a really long time. And yeah, just super impressive for a drugstore liquid eyeliner. So for my all-time favorite liquid eyeliners, I have two. One is the DANESSA MYRICKS one and the FENTY one. Both of these are fabulous. They don't budge. And lastly, we have the Hung Van Gogh eyeliner. This one is along the lash line, the blackest black. He worked really hard to formulate what he considers the blackest black, and I think he achieved it. This one is outstanding. Now onto lash primers. The one that I probably use the most in 2025 is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. I think I repurchased this a couple of times throughout the year. It performs well, doesn't break the bank. My longtime favorite lash primer is actually the Dior Show Maximizer 3D Triple Action Lash Primer Serum. But then I recently tried out the Max Stack Legit Lift Lash Primer, and this one blew me away. So much so that I ordered a full size almost immediately. And now for mascara. My most reached for mascaras at the beginning of this year were the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize and the CALIRAY Come Hell or High Water. That's what I have on my lashes today, although I do have a pair of half lashes on. And then in the second half of the year, two mascaras blew me away. One is the Half Magic Eyelectric Extreme Lengthening Mascara, and in the shade Urchin. This one impressed me so much that as soon as I was able to get down to the States again, I think I picked up 2 or 3 more backups just in case. And then the other one that blew me away is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. I got this one to try out using I think 100 of my Sephora points. But yes, this one is so fabulous. And same thing, I ordered a full size right away. So I think it's safe to say that currently these two are my absolute favorite. And funnily enough, my best friend Sandra, a couple days ago, she texted me asking me, do you have a favorite mascara? And these are the 2 that I told her about. My goodness, I'm so sorry. I forgot about these blushes. They're the Evocative Silk Blush from Singe Beauty. These, I don't think they came out this year. No, I don't think they came out this year, but this is the year that I tried them out. And these are fabulous. These absolutely blew me away. The finish on them is like nothing else. And what I love about this collection the most are actually the shades. Here we have Riveting Rhubarb. Very wearable. Like honestly, if I were to have just looked at this, I probably wouldn't opt for it. And even seeing a swatch, I still probably wouldn't opt for it. Put it on your face and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Risky Raisin. Another shade that's kind of like, a little intimidating, but on the skin, it's just beautiful and so much more wearable than you would think. And even Timid Tomato, like I'm not a red type blush fan, but this one is just so pretty. Again, also very wearable. Way more wearable than you think it would be. And oddly enough, my favorite shade of the collection is Persistent Persimmon. It's orange, but I love it. It looked so good on the skin. They have just the most beautiful, perfect satin finish, like a little bit of a sheen, but it doesn't look sparkly or shiny and absolutely does not emphasize my texture. I love these blushes so much. I wonder if she's going to come out with new shades. All right, setting sprays. All-time favorite, you guys know this, it's the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. It's bulletproof. It's fabulous for someone like me who has oily skin, who works long hours. Maybe you work under hot lights too. This one will keep your makeup on all day long. This one absolutely is my go-to dependable setting spray. Another favorite of mine is the Jason Wu Magic Spell setting spray. It's a matte setting spray and it's long lasting, and it really is. This one I usually reach for when I'm not working. It does its job, or even just more so in not the peak of summer, when I need a setting spray to keep my makeup on, but I know that I'm not going to get super oily. This one is a go-to of mine. Okay, now the next 2 setting sprays were released this year, and both of them really impressed me. The first one is the One Size Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. The reason why this one impressed me so much was because I honestly got it for like science purposes. I was so curious to see what a powder melting setting spray was like and how it would perform on someone like me with oily skin. And I must say, it does its job. It melts your powders together. It makes it kind of sit into the skin or blend into the skin and not just sit on top of the skin. And it has super lasting power. Like, I've tested it out 2 ways. This one on its own, I didn't get super greasy or oily at the end of the day. I still kind of had that like natural glow, although I might have not done a whole lot that day. But even at that, it impressed me. And then since then, what I do is I use this to melt my powders, and then I go over top with a One Size On Till Dawn. And then yeah, my makeup is locked in. It's not powdery. It's skin-like. It's just beautiful. And I am so impressed that a product like this works on my skin type. All right. And the last setting spray that I'm going to talk about is the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm Mattifying Setting Spray. This one is so good. I picked this up in Palm Springs when I was there in October because for some reason it had a later launch here in Canada, like even to the point where I thought we weren't going to carry it, but I'm grateful. Sephora Canada does carry it now, but I love this one. It is so good. I love the sprayer on it. It's so fine. Before I tried this one, I tried the Charlotte Tilbury matte airbrush whatever setting spray, and it was pretty good. It was decent. But then I tried this one and I'm like, oh my goodness, it doesn't even compare. This one is so much better. It's blurring, it sets your makeup. It just has like the best finish on it. But to be honest, still sometimes if I have a super long work day or if I'm going out, I'll start with this one and I'll still finish it off with the One Size On Till Dawn. But even still, this one on its own is outstanding. This is another product that if you haven't tried it yet and it's within your budget, I highly recommend that you do try it out. Alright, so I normally don't use a whole lot of highlighters, but there's one highlighter that I tried out this year that absolutely blew me away. This is from the Trap Collection by Gourmand Girls, and mine is in the shade Famished. Yeah, Famished. This is just the prettiest highlighter. Like, look at that. After trying out this phenomenal highlighter, it actually inspired me to start wearing more highlighter. But yeah, just beautiful. I love, love, love this one. For finishing powders, my all-time favorite finishing powder is Dim Light from Hourglass. This one I love to soften out the edges of my eyeshadow, but I do like it all over my face. However, there is a shade that I prefer, and it's this one from the Horse palette, and it's also in the Evil Eye palette. It's Soft Light. That one I like more for all over my face. And then speaking of these palettes, these two palettes, super happy with them. I think these two might be my favorite palettes out of all of the ones that I have. And the last finishing powder I have to talk about is one that I tried out recently that was released in 2025. And from the first time putting it on my face, I fell in love. It's the One Size Boucle Silk Cellulose Airbrush Powder, and mine is in the shade Light. This finishing powder is just gorgeous. It makes me feel like my makeup is super well put together. I'm more refined. It's like softened all over. Do you know what I mean? This one is fabulous. Let's talk about lip liners. You guys know that I don't always use a lip liner, but some of my favorites are Cool Spice from MAC. Way back when, like 20 odd years ago, I used to have the original Spice shade, and that one was my favorite. That one in Stripped Down, I think. Anyway, speaking of spice, this is from Mob Beauty. It's the M1990 liner. This one was made to replicate the original MAC Spice lip line, and it is just as beautiful. The other shade of Mob Beauty lip liners that super impressed me is the M159. I think this is Jessica Hayes' shade. Super cool tone, but beautiful. However, the lip liners that blew me away this year are the ones from Singe Beauty. They were released not too long ago, and they are outstanding. The shades that she created are just beautiful. Like, I have a couple of cool tone ones, I have a nude one, and I even have a couple of orange ones. If you guys know me at all, you know that I hate warmth on my lips, but for some reason, these lip liners are gorgeous. Like, I'm saying, even the orange ones, I put them on my lips and I was like, oh, how surprising. Fabulous formula. Fantastic shades. There are 3 shades that I didn't pick up, but now I wish that I did, and I might in the near future. Anyway, can't recommend these lip liners enough. Fabulous. So, so, so good. Okay, in terms of lip products, I usually opt for a lip gloss over a lipstick. My all-time favorite is the Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss in the shade George. This one is pretty much almost empty. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's pretty much almost empty, but don't worry, I have a backup. This shade is just my favorite. Another favorite is the lip gloss from Juvia's Place, and this one is in the shade Cookie Butter. It's from the coffee shop line. But yeah, this one is just like a perfect nude. I love this one so much. The formula is amazing. It doesn't make my lips shed. I'm not sure if you guys know this about me, but almost everything makes my lip skin come off. There's only a few products that don't do that. This is one of them, and I love it for that. I do have a few other shades in this one, but this year, this was my most reach for shade. Alright, so this lip gloss was released this year. I think in the spring maybe, but anyway, earlier this year, and it blew me away. It's the Mob Beauty, I can't remember the full name, but it's a peptide lip something. Anyway, it's their new formulation of lip gloss, and in the shade Dark Star, again, this is a Jessica Hayes shade. It's just so nourishing, so comfortable. Actually, here, let's put some on right now so I can show you guys. This one is so good. Like, look at that. It's so interesting. It's got a bit of a sparkle in it, but it's not overpowering. You know what I mean? and it just feels so good on. This one I also have in the diamond something shade, and of course since trying out those two I've ordered a couple of other shades, but I haven't unboxed it yet because I'm behind and I have plans for a full face of Mauve Beauty. It's coming soon. I have a whole list of videos planned out that I'll hope you'll stick around for. But yes, this formula is fabulous. It's so good. Okay, so this one is probably my most reached for lip gloss in 2025. It's the Makeup Forever Super Boost, and specifically in the shade Wherever Walnut. Again, this is one product where some people just think it's like, meh, but I love it. It's a substantial lip gloss, but I find it to be so comfortable on the lips, and same thing, it doesn't make my lips shed. And I just love this color so much. I do have a backup. I'm running low. Okay, but the lip gloss that truly impressed me the most this year, although I don't know when it came out because we don't carry it here in Canada, I had to go down to the States to pick these up. It's the CALIRAY Lip Guard SPF 31 Broad Spectrum Gloss Balm. I have a few shades, but my favorites are Big Sur and Trestles. So comfortable on the lips, and the shade Big Sur, I actually already picked up a backup because I love it so much. Alright, on to the last lip product. There is one lipstick that absolutely blew me away this year, and it is the Menacing Creams lipstick by Unearthly Cosmetics, specifically in the shade Secrets. And this is a collab with Courtney Quarantine. This lipstick is the perfect nude. I love this lipstick. It is so comfortable on the lips. It's creamy. Yeah, just fabulous. I have to say, trying out this lipstick is what encouraged me to try more lipsticks, to start wearing lipstick in particular, not lip gloss, but lipstick more. And after purchasing this shade, I picked up the deep blood red type shade. I forget what it's called, and I don't know where it is right now, so I can't show you guys, but I picked up another shade in this formula because that's how great this formula is. So the last category that we have is eyeshadow, and we'll get to that in a second, because first I want to tell you guys my new favorite half lash. It's the ones that I'm wearing today and the ones that I've been wearing in the last few of my videos. These are from Only All. I just ordered these on Amazon. They're super inexpensive, super affordable, super easy to put on. I think they're fluttery. They feel like nothing on the eyes. Very comfortable. And in case you're wondering, this is the lash glue that I use. It's from Kiss. It's the Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe, and it's in the shade Black. And again, this one I just ordered off Amazon. I actually have a latex allergy, and how I discovered that is way back when I was in makeup school and we were doing the special effects portion, our instructor all had us sniff liquid latex, and immediately I threw up. I got dizzy, I got a headache, I passed out. So for the remainder of my special effects section and my advanced special effects separate course that I took, I actually had to wear a respirator. But anyway, that's when I clued in that the dual lash glue that I've always been using, I used to wonder why it would irritate my eyes and make my eyes red and just like make wearing lashes a not fun experience for me. So this one is latex free and it works beautifully, wonderfully. Secure hold, but it's also not super hard to remove. All right, now onto eyeshadow. You guys know that I've tried out a bunch of eyeshadow palettes this year and I really tried to narrow my list down, but I'm going to try and get through these as fast as I can because I feel like this video is already super long. So the first one I'm going to start off with is what I'm actually wearing on my eyes right now. It is my go-to travel palette and palette that I pull out, same thing, when I don't have a whole lot of time and I don't have the brain power to think about what kind of makeup look I want to create. This is the one that I always pull out. I actually got this for free as a gift with purchase from one of my previous orders from ColourPop. This is the Sparkler Pressed Powder Palette. It's just a little brown quad, but that's what I have on my eyes. Super quick and easy to use, blends out really nicely. As you can see, this is what it creates. I always travel with this guy. Next up is my favorite palette for when I want an all matte look. It's the Major Dimensions 3 palette by Patrick Ta, the Neutrals one. I usually stick to the bottom row, but sometimes I do incorporate some of the shades from the top row. The formula on his eyeshadows I find are outstanding. It's buttery, super easy to blend. It's not patchy at all. Just a beautiful, beautiful formula. I have a ton of neutral palettes, but I have to say I think this one is my favorite in terms of mainstream makeup. I used to use the Makeup by Mario palettes quite often. I started seeing like fallout. This palette has no fallout. Like I said, the shades are buttery, super easy to blend out, and I love the undertones of these shades. Fabulous, fabulous palette. Alright, so the rest of the palettes that I have to share with you guys are all from indie brands. The first one I'm going to mention is currently, I think I would consider it my all-time favorite palette. It's the Underland palette by Ensley Rain. I'm not 100% sure, but this palette and brand might be one of the first ones that I tried out. I think it was this and Nomad. There were a couple that I entered the indie world with. This one though, when I got it and I started using it, it blew me away. Look at this color story. And I actually just recently got its counterpart. Ensley Rain just released a Shattered Looking Glass palette. I can't wait to get that on my eyes, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that palette. I have a bunch of other indie palettes to try out first. I don't know. I might rearrange my order. I'm not sure. I have a bunch of full face videos that I plan on doing, so we'll see. But yeah, this color story, like gorgeous. So many different color combinations. I especially love this deep red tone with the red shimmer. This red shimmer, this Jabberwocky shade. Oh, insane. You know what I realized? I used this palette in one of my very first videos, maybe the second or anyway. I used this palette, but I didn't showcase this palette by itself. I just used some of the shades to create a look in one of my first few videos when I started my YouTube channel. But don't worry, stay tuned and maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my future videos, because I plan on showcasing this palette along with the new Ensley Rain palette when I get to that one. But seriously, the formulation of Ensley Rain palettes is, oh my goodness, it's like nothing else. They're insanely good. It's just so, so good. And then I have to say that Underland palette is what sparked my huge journey this year of testing out a bunch of indie brands, a bunch of their palettes. But I was selective with the color story. I didn't just get whatever. I didn't just get whatever was newest. I had my eye on Adept Cosmetics for a while, but there wasn't a color story that really drew to me. So this one, it's the Minka palette. Oh, it's so, so good. This palette is beautiful. Same thing. You can come up with a bunch of different kind of color combos, super reflective, high impact shimmers, but mixed with a little bit of neutrals, kind of tones it down a bit. Fabulous, fabulous formula. After this palette, I think I got the Emo palette as well, but this one by far is my favorite from Adept Cosmetics. Alright, so let's talk about Singe Beauty. It's Angelica Nickvis here on YouTube's brand. This is her first palette. It released not this year, but I tried it out this year and then fell in love with this formula. The color story gives you many options, many different color combos that you can wear or come up with. The formulation though is where it's at. Super pigmented, easy to blend out. The shimmers don't crease. And then throughout this year, she also came out with two other palettes. Agate Temptation and Paisley Hoot is her most current one. I have both of them. I love them all. But this one I'm mentioning because this is the palette that made me fall in love with her brand. It's gorgeous. Next up, we have Bitten from Gourmand Girls. This palette and color story made me fall in love with the brand. So like I've said, I'm new to indie brands. I had no idea that they had previous formulations versus new formulations. All I can speak on are the palettes that were released this year. Anything that was released before the Bitten palette, I have no idea. I have no knowledge of. I have no experience with. But this palette, the Call of the Sirens palette, Mocha Moment, and Nevermore Trapped, all of them have the same formula in my opinion. The mattes are super buttery and easy to blend out. Although I have heard since from some of my friends that have hooded eyes or more mature eyes that the mattes are a little bit patchy on them. So that's just something to keep in mind. But for my eye shape, my eyelids, these shadows are just beautiful. Like I said, this palette is what sparked my interest into the brand, and I purchased every single palette that they released this year. Alright, next up is Unoriginal Nudes by Bella Beauté Bar. I have to say, this palette is probably my most reached for indie palette that I've used this year. This palette is amazing. It's so good. Even though it's a neutral palette, you can create so many different color combos. The shimmers are fabulous, super impactful. Love, love, love this palette. And you guys know me, I'm a sucker for pink and black. Alright, now let's talk about the Tones of Turd from Glaminatrix. This palette blew me away. Firstly, because it started out as an April Fool's joke that turned into reality. Who would have thought that Tones of Turd would be so flattering on the eyes? These shimmers are incredible. The mattes are beautiful, pigmented, easy to blend out, easy to work with. I love this palette so much that I bought this palette for my longtime friend, best friend, housemate, work partner. His name's Johnny. I probably talked about him before. But yeah, I got this palette for him for Christmas. But I gave it to him early because I couldn't wait, because I knew he'd love it. And he does. I think this palette is no longer available because it was limited edition, but you can get the exact same color story with a different name. It is the Grounded palette. It has different shade names and a different cover, but all of the shades are exactly the same. Did I say this was from Glaminatrix? I don't remember. If I didn't, it's from Glaminatrix. Next up is the Ultraviolet palette by Bella Beauté Bar. It's the collab with Deandra Nicole. Look at how beautiful this is. Deandra Nicole curated such a beautiful purple ultraviolet palette. Purple eyeshadows are one of my favorites, and it's my mom's favorite color. So I was on the hunt to find the best purple palette to gift to my mom. I did gift this one to her as well. She loves it. The formula is incredible. The shimmers are outstanding. I can't wait to create more looks with this palette. I've just been busy testing out new palettes and new brands, but I can't wait to come back around to this one. This one really did blow me away. Alright, the last palette that I'm going to talk about is Sugar and Spite by Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Look at this. This is the palette that I did 7 looks with, and I truly had so much fun creating every single look. I love the layout of these palettes. They are in little quads, so you can create monochromatic looks, or you can jump all over, mix and match, and create your own. The formula is so good. Again, everything is super easy to work with, really beautifully blended out. Shimmers are impactful, easy to work with. Did I already say that? I keep repeating myself, but that's how I truly feel about all the palettes that I've just mentioned. I love the mixture of deeper tones and pastels. I like contrast in my eyeshadow looks, and this palette gives a bunch of contrast. This wasn't the first palette that I purchased from Blend Bunny. I actually purchased the Beauty Below palette way before this one, but I hadn't had time and I didn't get around to testing it out, and then this one came out. And then I thought because it was more current at the time that I wanted to showcase this palette first. But now I absolutely love Blend Bunny's formula so much that I can't wait to finally try out the Beauty Below palette. Like, look at this. Even the cover art. I love the coloring. The design is just so, I love it so much. Yeah, can't get enough of this palette. Alright, so I honestly considered doing favorites of skincare, favorites of hair care, favorites of fragrances, but I think I'm going to skip it this year. I feel like this video is already super long. Actually, you guys let me know if that's something that you're interested in, if that's a video that you would like me to do. Just please leave me a comment and let me know. And that wraps up this video. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me for my first ever favorites video. I truly appreciate you all so much. I've enjoyed this year immensely. Making new friends, talking about makeup, sharing about makeup. I really am grateful. This year has been a lot of fun, and I have all of you to thank for that. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, or if it's nighttime for you, I hope you get a good night's rest. I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, ha, ha.